Iranian election news now. And Iran threw itself an election this week, but it was more of an election costume than the real thing. It's like someone dressing up as a slutty nurse for Halloween. It doesn't mean that you're actually a nurse, and it's actually pretty offensive to the thing that you're dressing up as. This wasn't just democracy with a lowercase d, Andy. It was democracy inside inverted commas with a question mark at the end of it, as well as a winking emoticon. All the candidates in the Iranian election had to be pre-approved by Iran's Guardian Council, which meant that the contest was effectively between different conservative factions, largely those who support President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad and supporters of the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And basically your choice was either conservative with an uppercase C or conservative with an uppercase K. It was like choosing between full sugar Coke and full sugar Pepsi. They both taste the same, both are extremely bad for you in large doses, but both undeniably give you a jolt of energy.
Is that how you sort of get yourself functioning in the morning now? Just a little bit of extreme right-wing Iranian politics?
Yeah, because I'm just trying to kick coffee, Andy, and that's it's the only thing that really sparks me up.
Some hardline clerics just get you out of bed in the morning. So have one sleeping with your dog in his little kennel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Why not?
Yeah.
Just wake me up every morning with a call to prayer.
You just don't want your dog sort of...
Hoagie wakes me up every morning with a call to prayer. Right. So it's not a call to prayer, it's kind of a whine to dump.
Also, the subject of Iran, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, has entertained the world with his comments on the Iranian nuclear programme, in which he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, if it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, then what is it? What is it? That's right, it's a duck. Or it's Mick Jagger with a heavy cold and a minor dose of rheumatism, still cranking out satisfaction like he's a 25-year-old. Awesome display by Netanyahu, but he finished his sentence. He said, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. But this duck is a nuclear duck. And you cannot really put in any clearer terms the problems the world faces with Iran, John.
It is
a giant nuclear duck.
Yeah.
And I mean, the real concern is, do the Chinese have a big enough pancake and enough plum sauce to deal with that nuclear duck?
I think the concern is that they're going to use that nuclear duck, Andy, and if it has the range, they're going to fly it over to Israel so it can just take a shit on Jerusalem. That's their worry.
I guess that is a thing. I mean, what do you do with the duck? Even if Netanyahu is right, and this is not the first time an Israeli politician has used the duck analogy. In 2000, the Speaker of the Israeli Parliament, Avraham Berg, said, "Listen, let's not fool ourselves. If it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, if it sounds like a duck, it's a Palestinian state."
No, it isn't. It's a duck. It's a duck.
And if he then followed out and said, "Oh no, hang on, no, it is a duck." So, or maybe if the Palestinian state is a duck, maybe this was an olive branch. He was really saying this is just a duck. This is nothing to be worried about. Unless did God hate ducks? I can't remember the Bible.
Was that on the good list or the naughty list?
Because Moses.
Oh shit! No, that's Santa.
Moses floated on the River Nile without being pecked at by a duck. So they can't have been all bad.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And in the New Testament, according to the recently discovered papyrus containing the Gospel according to St. Lionel, Jesus did once kick off a parable by saying, "Sorry, I'm late, parablers. A duck crapped on my donkey." Nightmare to get it out. I'm telling you, absolute nightmare. Anyway, you didn't need to know that. So, let's get on with business. So, hands up, who likes being nice to people? Well, have I got a treat for you today? Right, strap in. Once upon a time, there was a lovely little girl who was swept away in a tornado with her little pet doggy.
God, he was great, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he could spin a yarn.
Benjamin Netanyahu emphatically, Andy, gets the Bugle Award for Quote of the Week because it really was an absolutely incredible piece of speech making. And, in fact, that speech can be anything you want it to be in different forms. It can be like a beat poem, Andy. You see, Iran claims it's enriching uranium to develop medical research. Yeah, right. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then what is it? That's right, it's a duck. But this duck is a nuclear duck. And it's time the world started calling a duck a duck. A duck. Or, Andy, or it can be like an epic speech in a $300 million American movie. You see, Iran claims that it's enriching uranium to develop medical research. Yeah, right. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then what is it? That's right, it is a duck. But this duck is a nuclear duck, and it's time the world started calling a duck a duck. So let's get out there and let's kill those f***ing aliens. The point is, it was an amazing speech, Andy.
It was an absolutely phenomenal speech. Ehud Barak, the Israeli defense minister, said about Yasser Arafat in 2002, Yasser Arafat happens to behave like a terrorist. He looks like one. He walks like one. He quacks like one.
That is the key giveaway for all terrorists. Andy.
Yeah, when they get nervous, isn't it?
They quack.
It's like a tick when they get nervous.
It is, and it is. I think it is frankly incredible that most airports now do not have quack detecting technology. That you don't just suddenly jump, try and surprise them, just do a loud sound.
Just a little pond with bits of bread in.
They can't resist
as soon as anyone dives in, terrorists.
They can't resist it.
They cannot resist it. So what are the options then for dealing with a duck? I mean, you could shoot it or strangle it.
Yeah.
Or headbutt it in the beak. But, I mean, in this situation, I know, let's not rule out diplomacy with the duck, John. Maybe we should be feeding the nuclear duck bread to earn its trust, and take a bit of time to get to know the duck and understand its concerns. And then once we've gained its confidence, just train it not to shit on our cars. I think that's... You've got to play the long game with the ducks. But all through this, you have to get the feeling that Israel is posturing like an Italian man with a new scooter and a passing lady to impress.
So the parliamentary elections on Friday in Iran were Iran's first national election since 2009, which you may remember ended with people rioting in the streets and Iranian protesters being attacked by besieged militia on motorbikes hitting people with sticks. So not exactly a ringing endorsement of the whole process back then. So this time they were much more careful. The leaders of the opposition Green Movement have been under house arrest for over a year and were completely barred from taking any part in the elections. The results were a win for the anti-Ahmadinejad conservatives, those all loyal to the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei. And it has to be tricky for Ahmadinejad now to thread the needle of power when you have a Supreme Leader hovering over you. It's like being the coach of a sports team, trying to get your team to listen to you while you have a Turbo Supreme Ultimate coach who claims he's been appointed by God right over your shoulder who can get rid of you any second. Or it's basically exactly like being manager of Chelsea. But the defeat for Ahmadinejad and his loyalists, including the fact that even Ahmadinejad's sister lost her election, means that he will face a more hostile parliament in his final 18 months in office. And it really brings it home to you, Andy. We have only 1.5 years left of Captain Crazy, the Aradan arsehole, the man who put the mad in Ahmadinejad, to enjoy. Ayatollah Khamenei described Iran this week as moving into a more sensitive period in its confrontations with the West. And he's right, Andy. Iran isn't going to be the kind of paint your bedroom black and listen to thrash metal disaffected teenager of confrontations now. It's going to be the listen to Morrissey and read quotes from T.S. Eliot and playing the acoustic guitar kind of disaffected teenager while developing nuclear weapons in a subterranean bedroom.
And the end could be coming soon for Syrian President Assad after Russia and China have finally stepped up to the plates today through the UN and said that Assad now has a maximum of 20 more last chances to stop slaughtering his own people.
Wow, they are talking tough.
So the end game is near, John.